Hi, I'm Jim, President of Homes Now, if you don't know me. I just want to thank all of you for coming. You're all heroes in my book for showing up for this meeting. A little history about where we've been. This has been a year and 7 months in the making. We've been fighting with the city and all we heard was no, 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 no. And then we planned the sleep out for this year. And I got a call from Rick Sepler and he said, how long is the sleep out for? And I said, read the website. It says, until you give us a safe place to go or you arrest us all. He goes, thank you, that's all I needed. 4 hours later, we got an email from him saying that he wants to talk to us about Winter Haven. And so me, Doug, and Danielle, and Charlie all went there. And we stood outside and we said, don't expect nothing. We're going back to the principal's office and be told not to do the sleep out. And we got in the meeting. And lo and behold, I almost didn't have a heart attack because Rick Semper had Winter Haven plans in front of him and said, we want to move forward with this, and here's what we're going to do. And so a little history about where we've come from. It's been countless hours of hard work, heartache, ups and downs. It's been a roller coaster. But we're here now. We're less than 30 days out from making this a reality. But we can't do it by ourselves. Homes Now can't do this without the community. And the community, that includes everybody, the police department, the city, the churches, the businesses, just regular folks. We need everybody involved. There's a lot of work to do in the next 30 days, well, next 2 weeks, actually.
By Tuesday.
By Tuesday.
By Tuesday, yeah.
So, we built tiny homes out on Lumney. We thought that was good enough that the city would say, oh, come here and build. And wow, were we shocked. So this is either going to make or break Homes Now. I can't impress on you how much Homes Now depends on this being a success. Because if we fail at this, we lose all respect and all credibility in this town. And the county won't work with us and the city surely won't work with us after this. So I'm going to do everything in my power, and I hope everybody that volunteers will do everything in their power to make it a success. Because if we're successful, I've already had a call from Set Paul from county. If we're successful with this, the county will have us land to build tiny homes in April. I also feel if we do this successful, the city's going to find us land to build tiny homes and probably move this camp that we're starting to another location for longer. So, everybody that volunteers, I can't thank you enough. It means the world to me, and it's pretty humbling. This is a dream of mine since 1991 when I got off the streets, and here we are. Back to Charlie.
So much to our surprise, we are moving forward with Winter Haven, and it is going to be a challenge. We are looking at possibly one of 2 sites that the city has identified, and we don't know which one, and we're really not sure how they're making their decision, but we know which one we prefer. But in either case,
do they know the preference?
I believe so. Yes.
Yes, they do know their preference.
So,
And we can't tell you the sites. I'm just saying that that's one thing the city's request us not to do is share the sites with the public yet, because they don't want the neighborhoods to have any lead time to mobilize against us. So I just wanted to fill that out.
so there is a timetable set up based on public notification, because for some reason, which I don't quite understand, we have to go back before the city council for a final vote. Seems to me if they've passed a resolution telling us the permit process, that should be good enough. But anyway, it's a brand new thing for everybody. So off into the unknown we go. Some things we do know, we're going to have a project, and 3 phases. Right now we're preparing for the project. There's going to be a whole different task when we actually have access to a site and can start setting up. And then there's going to be the 3rd phase of work, which will be actually getting the camp running and ongoing. One of our thoughts is with enough volunteers in that phase, we could partner up and have multiple people, volunteers and residents doing the various housekeeping tasks, the security and the running of the administration point of contact. I said it first. We've been arguing over what to call the office. It's the office. But the plan is that both of these sites will have electricity, and so far as we know, that's going to be the case. And both of these sites will have water in one form or another. And after that, what we're going to do is have a kitchen tent. And I do believe we have the tent in mind without actually purchasing it. And tents on pallets so that we can keep them dry, and also so we can level them out. One of the sites has got a lot more incline than the other, so that's a little bit of a challenge. So site setup is going to be a whole lot of really intense labor with pallets. So the preparation, we have a whole lot of pallets to collect, and we have a location to put them in. We need a volunteer with a truck and a hitch. And
Sorry, I got rid of my truck.
I know, so I'm gonna have to shop for one. And he is out sort of your way anyway. I think the trailer and the storage are both out by Mission.
Okay,
So that could work very, very well.
excellent. Yeah, I have a 3/4 ton, so we will drag it all around.
We have a trailer.
trailer?
Yeah,
He's got the trailer.
8 by
I need a
12.
back to throw the stuff on the trailer and off the trailer. Where I'm at, but, no, I have the truck it'll drag everything around for this entire camp if you want.
Good.
So do you have actually pallets located, or?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Did you get all of them?
I have about 7,000 that I need to have access to right now.
We only needed how many?
Well, what we need them is sort of multiples of 4 of the same size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that sounds like a
So I'll
good
put
way
you
to
on the
go.
sign-up sheet for that.
You bet.
Okay, cool.
And as far as leveling for any site, as long as you're leveling only a pallet at a time, that's easy stuff.
No, but we're gonna screw the pellets together and level 4 at a time.
Okay, there you go. But yeah.
No,
Relatively
something like
easy.
that,
Relatively.
yeah.
Okay, back to you. Go ahead.
Plywood on top. So the main thing here, Jim wants to get into the schedule. So Monday, November 19th, we're going back to, it says City Hall, but he means the City Council. And I guess
Well, what we're asking,
we have a draft plan. We have a draft permit plan already
Okay.
submitted.
actually, this coming Tuesday, we have a meeting with all the heads of all the departments, and then at 3 o'clock, it's a closed meeting where I invite you all. Then they'll tell us input on our proposal that Danielle's been working so hard at. Any more ads or edits we need to add to that, we'll know more detail. We'll also know a site. Then we can tell our lead volunteers the site, but you can still not tell the public. But then we can disclose it to the lead volunteers. And then after that meeting, Danielle does her magic again and adds more shit that they don't read. And then on the
But require.
19th, City Council, the mayor is going to step up like she's always been behind us tonight.
Her idea.
We're so happy that we're working with Homes now, and we found a partner to do a
When
tent
they do
city. We've been looking for a year and 7 months and couldn't find one, but now we found one. So she's going to announce it to City Council. They will announce the site, and then after that meeting,
What
they
time
will
is
send
that
up.
meeting?
Huh?
What time is that?
7 o'clock, but
Thank
we're
you.
having a rally at 6 o'clock in front of City Hall. Black Lives Matter is joining us. They really are happy that we're doing this. Also,
Brilliant.
C2C is joining us in our rally because it's a huge victory for all grassroots organizations in Whatcom County right now that do things like we do, not the normal way. And then Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock, we meet back with planning. and we submit our application. According to Rick Semper, if we did everything that was asked of us of this coming Tuesday's meeting, he will approve the permit on November 20th. And then on December 3rd, there will be a public hearing where all the right-wing nuts can come out and say how much they disagree with us and how we're gonna become like Seattle. And that's when we need everybody that supports Homes Now in City Hall to speak up for it.
What
And if
time's that
you're
one?
against it, well, speak up against, huh?
What time's that mean? 7?
That would be 7 o'clock, that's the December 3rd,
Yeah.
city council meeting.
Okay, so it's part of the council meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
it'll be
important.
public comments on this project.
Okay.
And then the earliest start, oh, yes,
The rally at 6 p.m. and the mayor's announcement, are those both on the 19th?
yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, everybody shows up at 6 o'clock in front of City Hall, between 6 and 6:30. At 6:30, I will announce that it's 6:30 and the doors are open. If you want to speak, you must go up and sign up in public comment because we don't have a special time. And Dan Hamlin's going to be really upset because I'm hoping that we continue public comment for an hour and a half, like we
Up till
have.
12:30 or so.
And then the earliest we're going to start is December 7th. The likely start date is probably around December 15th. But we need to have everything in place. I want to talk about the fundraiser a little bit. We are $1,200 away from our goal. The city will not okay the permit unless we prove we have all the money in the bank. And right now, we are on track to do that. We need to raise $11,000. It needs to be in the bank, secured, and then they'll okay the project. Without it, they pretty much won't. So I'm working my butt off on that. I urge you. I made a video this morning. I urge you to share it. I urge you to share it with your friends. I just got an email from somebody in Arizona that saw the video, and they're mailing a $500 check to us.
Woo!
So we're doing really good on fundraising, but all the help we can get, better off. Wouldn't it be neat to go this weekend and go at Sunday, at the Tuesday meeting when we got the money, we're done? Yes,
Do you need all 11,000?
all $11,000.
For the permit, not the 6,000, but the
All the
11,000.
$11,000.
It's going, Justin.
Yeah, it has to be.
Hey,
in
Justin,
the
you
bank. So
took
to
my
prove that
invite.
we've got it
You are gonna
For
win.
them.
We'll see.
It's
They were-
close.
because
They
Yeah,
called
yeah.
Sharon, didn't they?
If we didn't have it in.
Yeah,
there,
Sharon's
then
got called.
Sharon's got it in the
Posted,
bag for sure.
You know, and-
Yeah, what about Pinky?
Okay.
The last count. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lynette.
Could you clarify about 6,000 and 11,000, because
6,000 is what it's going to cost to set the camp up. The other $5,000 is to run the camp for the 3 months. So the total project for the whole 3 months is going to cost us $11,000.
Was that your and Doug's calculations, or was that the city's?
That's our calculation.
Okay.
so is that written up like that in
Oh, yeah,
something that I can send out?
Make that number smaller.
What now?
Is that written up like that
That's it.
in the donation post that I can send out?
No, but I can make a post like
Yeah,
that.
that's what I need, so right now I'm sending out 6,000.
Yeah, well, what you're seeing raised on Facebook, and I'll just tell you, isn't all we've raised. We've got about $3,500 that's been raised off Facebook by businesses, and I have a
Private
meeting
donations.
with another business on Monday that might donate 1,000, and then I have Title Visions donating 500, so that's off the books. So I'm not putting that out there because when you put that out there, people stop donating on
Yeah, right.
Facebook. We have to raise the 6,000. If we raise the 6,000 on Facebook, I can guarantee you that I've got the other $5,000. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Where was I?
Share the video. So we're sharing the video.
Huh?
Sharing the
You
video.
shared the video. Shared
Oh yeah,
the
show the video. Okay, so that's the schedule we're looking at. December 15th, around there is going to be the date. We're hoping to start setting up camp December 4th. after public comment. That will be all on Rick Sempler. So, we're done with that?
That's an anniversary, Jim.
Yeah, shit.
What?
Last winter we were on top. We were
Oh,
on
yeah.
boot camp.
So that's where we're at, and then, let's see, the budget, passed the budget around to everybody, they should have the budget. That's pretty much detailed, and if you notice, the biggest expense to set it up is fencing. We are hoping that we can get it donated, so if any of you have any leads on a fence company owner that has a temporary fence, please beg and plead with us for them to do it for free or a very substantial reduced rate, because every place I've called is $10 a foot. We need 400 feet.
And we only need to borrow the fence. We don't.
Yeah,
We need 400 feet?
400 feet.
I'll make some calls, Jim. I mean, that is.
The sooner you can
it's-
make them, the
write this
better off we
too,
are.
so, you know, it's not like you can't write it off, so they should be able to do
Right,
this.
they can write it all off for 501c3.
I'll look into it. I wanna look into that. That's outrageous.
So, that's the fundraiser. Danielle started, Amazon wish list for us yesterday. For all you that hate Amazon, so sorry. Had to do it that way. And we have 2 items in there right now. We need 18 tents. They're $85 a piece. We have 2 already bought, so, because we need 20 tents. And then we have some lights in there that are gonna be in every tent, so we don't have electric. And we only need 4 of those now because my wife bought one today for us, so. And I bought one
And
earlier.
I'll just say one thing about that. If you do order things through Amazon, remember to use our Smile account, so that everything you buy, we get a little, you know, we get a little chunk of change.
Oh, see, I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't
now
either.
you know.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
didn't know. You set it up. I think maybe
I
Amy
just
set it up or
went to,
something.
I went to your guys' wish list and just.
Yeah, we should
bought
actually
from
share
there.
the link with the Smile already in it, so that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. We'll do
Yeah.
that.
So,
And each set of lights is four to the set,
yeah. So,
and then you can buy the batteries too. It came out to about $38 or something.
yeah. Alright. So now let's move on to the volunteer. Will you want to go through the volunteer list? We're going to read off what kind of lead volunteers we want and we need. If you want to step up, I urge you to do it. But realize when you step up, we're going to hand it over to you, and it's going to be your baby. You don't need to ask permission what to do or how to do it. We will help you in any way we can, and I'll be setting up with lead volunteers a meeting this coming week with a more detailed description of what we want from you. And any help I can give you, I will. But it's like the word lead. That means do it, just do it. And Homes Now isn't like a lot of nonprofits. We don't ask to micromanage it. We'd like you, if you want to take it on and run with it, and have fun with it.
Jim, I've got one question about this Tuesday's meeting. Is it just you and Doug and Danielle going?
And Charlie,
Oh,
it's
Charlie.
it's a closed meeting.
Okay, you don't want anybody
No,
else?
nobody can be at that meeting.
Okay.
They would flip out.
At which one?
This
The
coming
Tuesday
Tuesday.
meeting.
Oh, the 20th.
Did everybody get a list
No.
of things we need? Let me
No,
pass
I
that
think we
around.
have
No,
Oh, sorry.
and if there's another budget thing floating around.
And one
There's a
thing-
statement here.
Oh,
One thing else I would like to say before I forget it. Winter Haven is going to be dedicated to the memory of Albert Pugh, the owner of Papa John's. I'm going to have a plaque made that is in dedication in his memory. Papa John's in Bellingham was the first business that came on board. Every time we asked for something, he gave it. I had a meeting with him on Sunday. He was going to donate $500 to us and offer pizzas one day a week for free for the whole camp. And that night he went home and he died. And so this is the least I can do to him. I consider Albert a friend. He was a hero of this town. He not only helped Homes Now, he helped the mission. He helped the Humane Society, he helped the women's shelters. Any nonprofit that came to him, he stepped up. So he was a great asset to the community and will be missed. And the store right now is in limbo. They don't know what they're going to do with it because his wife can't do it, and his sister might take it over, but it's not sure
Are
yet.
they, okay, are they gonna still go ahead with what he was,
No,
no?
I haven't asked.
Yeah.
Hey, where's the $500?
No, no,
Actually, he
no,
said
haven't-
$50,000. I wouldn't do that, but Albert's gonna be missed, and
Yes, he
we'll
will.
have a little ceremony when we open Winter Haven in honor of him, and his wife and daughter will be there. So I just want to throw that
Awesome.
back to you.
So I guess I'll just go through the
Yeah,
list from the
just,
top.
would you guys prefer we read all the jobs and then you guys can decide which one you want? Or if there's one she reads off and you're like, yeah, that's me, please jump up and down and
Yeah,
I like
that
send
sounds,
you the
that
list
sounds
down.
great.
That sounds good.
I gotta be cautious. I'll be like, oh, that's me. Oh, that's me. Oh, shit, that
Everybody,
ain't me.
mandatory chocolate.
But just so y'all know, if you say you're gonna do it, I'm gonna take that off my plate because everything she's reading off, I've been doing. So everything that gets taken off my plate, I will give you hugs even. And Marcus knows I don't like to hug, so if you get a hug from Jim Field.
Kinda gotta take them. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, so first one is church outreach coordinator. Do you want to read the? I'll
Yeah,
read
the little
description.
description that we have.
So that position is basically contact churches about if they could provide meals once a week or once a month. Also recruit any volunteers to do 2-hour shifts at the reception office once the site opens up. So is anyone, Lynette, you're interested in doing that? I'll write your name down. What's your last name?
Alan.
Allen. Okay. I'll get your contact information afterwards. All right, next one is. Oh, and for each of these positions, so Lynette will be the lead for that one. If anyone else is interested in helping her, you can be on that team. So
And-
just
I'd
keep.
rather
keep
And
all of
another
these in
thing
mind.
about the lead person, we'll create a volunteer sheet or we'll create something online so you can get volunteers. So we don't want you to do it yourself. Your job will be to recruit your own volunteers for your job. That way I don't have to go begging people, please come help on that.
Well, but the other thing is to coordinate it, so
Yeah.
you don't have 5 people going to the same church.
Right.
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 And we got 144 churches in this town, so.
Is that right? I was saying go for the top 40.
Or the bottom 40, whichever's more likely.
No, actually, we ought to start with all the ones in Linden first.
Oh, there you go. Well, actually,
Okay, back to the topic, please.
frankly, the limit is fill the calendar.
Yeah.
Well,
Fill the, yeah, I gotcha. For the meals.
For the
Yeah,
meals.
gotcha.
Once we got all the meals, then we're just looking for volunteers.
Okay, well then
And money.
that begs a question, because I need to ask that right off the bat. Was the intent to have all the food and meals donated by people, or
Nope.
was the camp itself going to do some of its own cooking?
The ideal is we're gonna run like TC5 and every resident can cook their own meals. There won't be mass meals, but if a church comes in to feed, that's great. Then
Makes
they don't
things a
have to
little
feed.
easier. Yeah.
That makes it easier, but there'll be pots and pans there, utensils, everybody. If I'm staying in the camp, I can go cook my meal 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it doesn't matter. So,
Okay.
So you need cleanup.
I know what's on the volunteer list. Can you add one more, which I'm volunteering to do? I'm gonna contact the food bank and,
it's already on there, so we do a little bit.
okay, and some of the restaurants around and see if they'll donate food items.
Yeah.
for people to be able to do the-
Oh, that's the next one. Business outreach coordinator, right?
Yeah,
Well,
Contact businesses for money / food donations and donations of plywood. We can separate that into a couple positions.
yeah, I wanna just concentrate on the food industry,
Okay.
because I can sell that to them.
okay.
All right, and that's
Oh.
Dana, right? DANA.
Mhm.
Okay. Last name.
Briggs, BRIGGS.
All
So
right.
you can do
So I'll just put you
transport without
down
any
for
problem?
just food.
Lynette has a
No,
question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or we'll
So,
get them to do it.
Wait,
like the like Assumption and some of the Maple Alley Inn and all that.
Yep.
Should I make connection with them about this too?
I've actually made connection with Maple Alley. Well, I almost did. I was in the parking lot to get out of the car, and somebody called me and said they wanted to donate $1,000, so I had to drive back to the office, so I never did. But I have a meeting with the lady that runs that on Wednesday, so
Right.
I'm gonna sit down because we're gonna use them. I'm approaching them on different areas, so yeah, maybe you want to contact. I'm approaching them with intake stuff for people that they might recommend for the.
Oh, mention it. if you would, at that, and then I'll also contact.
Okay. Yeah.
And if I may, when we do these sort of contacts like this, you know, it's like if you couch it in terms of this is an opportunity to give. We're providing you get to bring the meal to us if you want to make the meal, bring it. Lasagna, great, bring it. So, you know, you should always kind of like give them that opportunity to feel good about it. It's your idea, bring it, you know.
Mhm.
I think that's a good way to do it, but that's what I got to say.
Okay, I have a question then too. You know how we did the sleep out
Mhm.
and people donated some food, like.
Some, like,
Okay,
Tons
no,
of
like,
food.
okay, so for instance, I made a big huge pot of stuff. And we can do that too?
Yep.
Still, again
Yep.
this year? Okay.
Yep.
He has a donation checklist, so people that bring donations can check in what they're checking in, and it'll be screened and.
And we can make the calendar, if this church is doing it on a regular schedule, we can make a calendar that so that you know what day to bring it on.
Yeah, well, see, it would have to be on my day off.
Right.
Cause I ain't
That's the only
cooking
one that
after our
works.
10-hour shift.
Yeah, plus one of the procedural things, I have to double check with the Department of Health because I don't remember. There's a baseline as to if you're cooking for X number of people, you have to have somebody with a food handler's permit that's doing it. So,
I've got
Yeah.
food handler's permit.
so do I.
And so do
does
I.
Carol.
Yeah.
So there's a number of us that do, but the point is that if we do mass cooking on site, we have to have.
There will be no
Right.
mass
Yeah.
cooking on site.
No, we would we'd make it at home and then bring it in.
Okay, but if they, what I'm saying, okay, so we're not gonna allow anybody to.
No, there won't be any mass cooking except maybe all the people living there will all
Might want to have
chip in
spaghetti
and
night
have
or
a,
something, yeah.
have a community cookout or something.
Yeah, but even at that, Jim, just,
If we're going to try to follow every rule and be perfectly,
Well, I'll take somebody down and get them full handles.
Yeah.
That
No,
won't
I
be a
mean,
problem.
we've already
as long
done.
as one of us is around, I just want us to
Yeah,
make sure.
right.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna necessarily publicize it, but in case somebody raises a stink for some
Right.
reason.
Right.
There will be somebody with a food handler's permit. We've already talked about even providing, we'll pay for the people in camp to get food handler's permit.
Yeah, it's only
If we
$10
come
a
up
piece.
with that
Yeah.
need,
Exactly.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
It's only
shows
$10.
Resident, right?
Yeah.
You're on site. You
Yeah.
Yeah.
to respond.
Right.
Cool. Okay. So I guess the other half of the business outreach coordinator position would be contacting businesses for money, donations, and specifically donations of plywood. So we need how many sheets of plywood?
We don't know yet.
Well, we can sort of guess it's going to be 2 per tent, so there's 40.
40 plus the kitchen. So
For the kitchen, it's going to be, I was going to say maybe 8.
okay. So let's call it
10.
50 sheets of plywood.
Yeah.
50 sheets
And we're
of
looking for like
half-inch plywood.
half-inch minimum, right?
Half-inch
Half inch would
plywood.
be fine.
Yep.
And we'll put a coat on them.
And I,
So it doesn't have to be exterior
and I
grade,
think
painted.
Sue
Well, it'd
was
be
going to try
nice.
and do some
Yeah.
of that business outreach
I
stuff.
don't know. That's
But
why
she
we're having
Size,
this
8
meeting.
by 8.
I know
Right.
when, I forgot to tell you that she had asked for like a sort of not a script, but ideas of what she's supposed to say.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can get that to her.
Yeah.
Part of it is somebody needs to contact REI. This is like immediate need.
That's
REI and Jaegers. Later today, somebody takes that job on. 18 tents, if they each donate 9, wouldn't that just be awesome? We'll give you the size of the tent that it has to be because there's specific, the spaces are only 9 foot by 20 foot. So, we got a hexagon tent I bought online to see if that's gonna work. And then we'll get a measurement from that because we are buying all new tents for everybody. And then when they leave the camp, they can take their tent with them if they do not get housed. So, it'll be like a sleep out. But-
Marcus and I will do it together. Like, that's not
Do
one of
what?
what this job is.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm committed to trying to see if I can get this fence donated because I know some people in the rental businesses and stuff like that, and I'll be hitting some of the lumber yards up on that same circuit. I might as well see if I can get some plywood donated because I know some of the lumber yards, and I may have a little pull just to say, come on, guys. So, but at the same time, I would love for anybody else who sees a way forward to get
Well,
half-inch plywood.
there's a
get it.
specific job for that, I think, also.
For what?
For fencing.
Yeah, there's a separate job for fencing.
Okay.
Alright. So you said you and Marcus
We'll
will
do the calls and we'll walk in and talk to REI and Jaegers about the tents and all that.
Oh,
So
sure.
all of it, so tents and plywood.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll do that.
And businesses, JC?
Oh, Windsor plywood?
Well, those two.
That
Windsor,
was a
that's a good
that
location.
So,
If you'd like to hit that.
Reaching out to Rob
because we also have something about contact.
Everybody
businesses
please,
on
one at a
Monday,
time,
so,
it gets really loud in here really
I guess we
quick.
can make the separate position for that, because
Sure,
that's kind of a
write that
lot.
down. if
Are
you're
you
gonna do that.
thinking big donations, or do you want
Windsor.
like donation jars? Are you doing like?
Whatever, they'll be on
Yeah, I
you
guess-
guys.
You wanna hit
You guys are in charge of that.
You want
I'm
to
gonna
do
hit
all
the smaller
of that?
businesses,
Okay.
in-town business. Windsor's a home business, so that's a good one. You might.
Windsor and
I don't know yet.
Sure. And
Okay,
Lois, if you
for,
want. Wanna hit all three?
Reaching out to
You
see
take
what
those
he,
three.
see if he's got any contacts.
No, we can do that, okay. Back to.
All right. Get a long list here. All right, volunteer coordinator. We need someone to handle scheduling and recruiting of volunteers for Winter Haven. Once it's like, well, I guess while it's setting up and also once it's set up.
Whoever does that, you can coordinate with me because we have the list of volunteers, and I can downsize it to specific jobs and duties.
You didn't do like I asked you, look right at
Volunteer coordinator
I don't want to
position.
be the coordinator, but I will be the assistant to the person who wants to
Okay,
take that
okay.
beast on,
Cool.
because I will have that information.
You've just done such a good job with the volunteers.
No, I gotta be careful about what I say too, like a little of this.
Keeping your list, we'll send you a memo.
Yeah.
So somebody.
All right.
else-
Anyone want to do that? So basically, it'd be like
Stuck with it.
keeping like a maybe an Excel spreadsheet or just a whatever.
Okay, if
Word
nobody
list of-
does it, well, we'll leave it open for
Okay.
now, and that'll just be one more thing.
It's a challenge.
This is-
Cool.
We'll do a drive.
No, it's just, everything that you guys volunteer for,
Okay,
just
Neil.
listen right off my
I know, and then you can make the call out again, so this is good.
Yeah.
What I will do is compartmentalize each specific kinds of volunteers, and then if somebody wants to make cold calls to these volunteers to get them on a list, and we can create the lists, we can create the volunteers listed already, and then somebody else needs to be the person who takes that on and calls the
Okay.
volunteers and organizes it.
Okay.
We'll just
Right.
leave it
Okay.
open for now.
Yeah. Okay, next one, site setup coordinator. I think you said you were going to do this. Recruit volunteers and manage the initial site setup, including constructing the tent
Yep,
foundations.
I'm gonna take that.
You're gonna
I just wanna help you with that, Jim,
Yeah.
whatever, right?
I'm gonna, don't worry, I'll have a
No,
little.
There'll be
my-
lots of help.
No, I'm saying there's gonna be that group of people who will be that, and we'll bounce and we'll do that. We're gonna get this thing set up together, okay? So, I don't wanna overdo it, but I need to have the truck here when we need the truck here.
I know,
So we
okay,
need to
I get it.
coordinate that effort, and that'll be fine. So when
Well, I
we need to do
mean,
the truck, we'll
Jim's
truck
not going to
around.
build all the foundations himself, so
No,
we're
no, no.
all going to,
Yeah.
we'll,
Yep. And
I'm just gonna
Totally.
coordinate
I
how,
put you down on
get
yes,
all the
that one.
materials set in place, so when we're ready to go, when they give us a green light, we don't have to wait a week to start, we can start right then.
I can see, like up to 20 people, we can keep that many working.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm gonna,
Yep.
I got it all in my head, that's why I decided I
Bring more tools.
Okay, next one is donation coordinator. Recruit volunteers to get donations of needed items, including fridge, freezer, 8-foot tables. Contact cash and carry for paper. What do you call it? Boxes of paper plates, coffee cups, utensils, etc. Does anyone want to be the donation coordinator?
I can think of a few volunteers that might do it, but
Okay.
they're not here today.
Okay,
Right.
that's fine. Just I guess we'll post.
Amy.
Let's
This-
post the empty
We'll post
And then
jobs.
you'll know.
Post it
Well,
when
yeah,
we
post
contact.
all the jobs. Look,
Yeah.
that's where she signed up.
Cool.
Let's get it
One
out there.
comment about paper plates and silverware and stuff. So there'll be a dumpster for trash at the site
There'll be
Right.
recycling.
and a recycling
yep,
composting
yep,
one.
Yep,
So I'd like to have more environmentally friendly options, and or if we have water at the site, be able to provide plates for people that they could wash their plates after their meals, so we're not creating a crazy amount of trash.
as long as they're
But
not
I-
porcelain plates.
Feel free to contact the co-op, or I'll donate take on the donation myself for compostable plates, that compostable potatoes, silverware, so we don't, not creating a lot
Right,
of
and cash and
plastic.
carry has all that.
And keep in mind, there's
They have the
some,
compostable
Yep,
stuff?
yep.
Okay,
keep in mind there's some codes that also go along with that with health hazards and public waste when you have to sanitize things under high heat. So you gotta
Okay.
keep that in mind when you're washing things.
so we
when
might
it's-
not have hot
You might not
water.
have
We're
that
not
as
gonna
well.
have hot water.
And
drainage,
No
too.
might about it.
Okay, well, I'll contact the co-op and cash and carry
Okay.
about the utensils
Okay.
and things, cause I hope we could be, you know,
Right.
not creating a massive
Well,
amount
that's
of
the, yes,
trash.
put
You
that on
might
there.
get with help John and Helen Campbell because they were working with the recycling stuff for the summit, so they might be able to
Okay.
help you out a little bit on that.
And also,
What was your name again? Lisa. Right?
Lisa, Pap.
and also we need a case of toilet paper and a
One
case
case?
of, yes,
Well, at a time.
at a time. Because, The porta pot service also does replace it, but we want a case and a case of paper towels.
I can do toilet paper too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And these are donations that you're wanting to bring in, or do you have a budget?
I'll
for
either
them?
get
No, we
donations
want,
or I will.
and let
It's all
me put that
donations.
out
Take
there
care of
right
it.
now. Everything that we can get donated makes our budget go down.
Obviously.
And don't worry, if we have extra money, I'm sure we'll find something for it.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, we still won't
Lisa,
go
do
in
you
our
have a
pockets, it will
Costco
go
card?
out there.
I don't, but I actually am part of a cooperative out of Florida that plants trees when you buy toilet paper from them.
Okay.
So I could just order a case
bulk.
from them, and then trees will be planted.
Excellent.
By the way, I'm just gonna throw this out there. I was at Goodwill earlier today, and this is a crowd of people who's most likely to know where to put these things. Is those 10x10 tents like we use for intake at the summit and everything. There's 2 of those at Goodwill for cheap. And
Right.
Oh.
if you like them, they're there.
They're like canopies.
Yeah, just like the ones we
And
use.
Kmart is going under, so they're having.
Yeah.
And Kmart's going under
No.
right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
Everything's
that great
good.
sale just
Okay.
yet.
Let's keep going, because we got a lot more
Not just
positions.
yet.
Alright, does anyone else want to take the other part of the donation coordinator position where you try to find a donation for a fridge, deep freezer, and 8-foot tables and things like that?
I'll do that. Fridge, freezer.
And I have a
Yeah.
lead on that. If
Tables.
you call the scrap it
Tables.
places, not the scrap it, there's an organization, I gotta remember the name of it, but they refurbish appliances.
It's
and-
out on Marine, yeah, it's out on Marine Drive.
Yeah, they restore, and they do it with job training. They train people coming out of prison.
It's like
for
new
the
again.
job.
It's an
Oh,
appli-
cool.
yeah,
How big of a refrigerator you
We want a regular size refrigerator and a stand-up freezer.
Yeah, you'd like a full-size stand-up freezer anyway. at least
Yep.
that.
What about that one I sent you?
How do you spell
It's a
your
message
name?
on.
HATHOR. Now, what was the name of that place you said?
God, I can't think. I want to say scrap it, but that's not
No.
it.
no, I'll look it up.
Scrap it's the fence company.
It's on Marine Drive, I know which one you're talking
Yeah,
Appliance Depot?
but the one, yeah, that's it. That might be it.
Appliance
Depot.
It's the one Kate Robertson who used to be the director of the hot team. And she's now the director out there. So she
I'll
quit
find-
to
I'll
go
find-
do that.
you.
That's an excellent idea.
Yeah, so I'm sure they and
Do you
and
want
just
it
so you're
loaned or
set,
do you want it bought?
loaned. We'll give everything back. We've offered to give the pallets back, but nobody wants them. I don't understand that. Everything will be given back afterwards. It'll be cleaned, and the way we get it is how it will be. So,
Alright, next one, fence donation outreach. You said I have you on that.
Well, I also heard Marcus say he
So
wants to
both
do
of
that,
you
so I
can
need
work on that.
Marcus's phone number and
so
we'll
we'll put both of
coordinate.
you down.
What are we coordinating?
Fence.
fence.
Yeah, I definitely want to whittle on that.
Okay.
I know people.
Charlie and you are
Okay, let's
both
do
on
that.
that. So,
We'll do that.
Yep.
Alright.
Good.
Alright, next is fundraising lead. Plan and lead fundraising initiatives.
I'm going to be part of that,
Okay.
but I do need somebody else to help me with that.
I'd like to help.
I'm sorry,
with that.
appliance
cool.
depot.
And
Yeah,
you're
it's a
jumping-
He knows how to raise money.
Yeah,
also.
Well, I mean, if you looked at the PDC, you would think I didn't know how to raise
No,
money,
this
but
is just
yeah.
this is something, a story from KGMI.
I've asked for money before.
Appliance depot.
Yeah.
Oh, it has a Facebook
Okay,
page.
that's enough on that right
Cool.
now.
They do.
We'll be asking for volunteers to help us with it, but
Next one is communication and technical lead, which Doug,
Here's the phone number.
do you need anyone with that or you good?
I'm probably okay, but if I do, I'll find them.
Cool.
And or if anybody wants to help set up like the cameras and the hotspots and the Wi-Fi, I'm always glad to have a team member.
Alright.
Got it right.
Shower coordinator is Tim Surratt.
he's not the shower coordinator. Mark is going to put something at you. No, he's offered to come and dump it, if not daily, every other day. So the reason I got his name there, he just wants to be involved, and he's a truck driver, so there won't be a problem with it.
Okay, so he's just gonna be the one emptying it. So
Well, he's gonna help.
He can help he can help move it around and coordinate. It's
Yeah.
not that big a deal. It's just an RV. And
Yeah.
actually, I did get a call from Sherry to do an outreach to him and call him personally. And
Yeah.
so she just called me yesterday about that, so I will call him also and make sure he's
Yeah.
hooked up and we can try to
I
coordinate.
talked to him
coordinate.
yesterday.
Right.
I
He's a
talked
good
to him
guy.
yesterday. Yeah, he's a really good
Good.
guy.
so then we need someone who's willing to be coordinator to fill the water every day, empty it on days that he doesn't empty it, and clean the shower stalls once a day.
Now,
and
Well,
one
that's
of
what
our
the
take care-
clients
and
are
take care
gonna
of the
do.
towels.
That's The cleaning the shower truck is gonna be a job for the residents.
Oh, I thought at the end of, I thought you said once a day we'll have a volunteer.
Yeah,
cleaning
there'll
it.
be somebody, a resident.
Oh,
cleaning
resident
it.
cleaning.
Somebody will
Okay,
have to be in
volunteer,
charge of
okay.
that before it opens up the next day. If it didn't happen, it didn't happen.
Well, it's another one of those things where I think we've got to possibly shadow it. You know, we've all been caught.
Is this our social?
Thank you. I asked him to do it and he was gonna go over here.
Didn't you notice the waivers you signed on the way in?
Just send the bill to, Mark. So, where were we at on the shower?
coordinator.
So, yeah, I think with Tim and Marcus, you guys can pretty much coordinate that and find other volunteers, right? And that doesn't mean you have to be there every day, it just means.
And we have a pool we can dip into. We just need to find out what their tasks are really
Okay.
going to entail in this
Okay.
capacity,
Okay.
where it's at.
Right.
Right.
Okay. so-
Aside from any mission the truck might
so
ever
put
take any
Marcus
elsewhere
on there
else.
with Tim and then he can talk.
Okay.
And
But
I'll
you're-
We're
call.
still keeping the truck around for the summit and doing that.
The truck will only leave for the summit because there are no showers given on site on Sunday. So I did that
Oh.
so we can take it off site on the summit.
Perfect.
But you're
Unless
okay, you're
there's
okay
a
with
special
coordinating
instance.
all of that, like getting the volunteers lined up for those.
Yeah,
days.
it's the same people.
We're still doing
They,
that.
Okay.
These are the same people that need to work with this truck. Yeah,
It's just like- it's like
it's an
daily-
ongoing thing.
daily
And,
thing.
and when I just met them all the last summit, really the rap was we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do next. So come and
Okay.
join us, right? So here we are. This
Right.
is the perfect point to jump in.
Cool,
You know?
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just gotta follow through with all that. Ugly.
Just keep signing up for things, Marcus.
One of the thoughts here is really we're going to have a sort of a break-in period for the first couple of weeks where we'll sort of have volunteers sort of shadowing the regular jobs. And the shower truck would be an excellent example because, you know, right now I have no clue really how to run the shower truck. I could probably muddle
we
through,
always
but
we always wanted to recruit from within the tiny home villages for people to run the tiny home village.
Right.
And I thought surely through the shower deal we would find somebody to step forward and says I just want to drive the truck for you or something.
There you
know,
go.
And that would be your likeliest person to really run a village. And it just that person never really came forward. But maybe the stability that a village gives will bring those people forward a little. It's like I know what I'm doing next Tuesday. I'll be here, and that helps. So you know.
Alright,
Yeah.
so we got that.
All right. Next one is records coordinator. Manage a database of Winter Haven residents as they move in and like track them as they move out into permanent housing and keep a record of all
We
that
need
stuff.
statistical facts because after this,
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm eager to do that actually.
we need statistical facts because after this, then we got proof of concept plus what we've done. We want to
are
keep
you
track
doing
of when
anything more
people.
than just a spreadsheet?
It involves actually when somebody leaves, talking to them and finding out what happened and writing it
If
down.
you
Oh, right.
But I would have
Yeah.
to find more people to actually maybe do those debriefings or whatever. But I'll figure that out. But I do want to do that.
Coordinate that. Good job.
You've been managing the database.
Plus, Doug, you've got to have them sign a privacy release.
For what?
Well,
Well,
we don't have to
because-
put their specific name on it.
Okay, if you're not putting their names.
No,
We
no.
don't need their names.
It's just.
Right, and if we do, it'll be our records that won't be released as far as
Right.
people's names, but it will be that we can tick off. We had 3 people that found housing. We have 2 people that
That's
didn't get
fine as
help.
an aggregate, but if
Yeah.
any names are on it, it has to be.
No.
Right.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no
Definitely.
names on
Just
it.
have a reference number so we can cross-reference maybe. or
Our
something.
Oh,
intake,
yeah, that would be a good idea.
our intake processes, they have to sign a
Right.
permission
Yeah,
release
privacy
because
Website.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, for one thing, there's going to be surveillance cameras.
All right. Next one.
Right, understand.
New resident intake volunteers. Manage the new resident intake. We have Jim and Doug already on there. We need 2
this
more.
is intake committee. This will be who decides goes into Winter Haven and who doesn't. We have one position up for a normal person, and then we need a case manager. Somebody, a licensed case manager,
Those poor case
to be
managers.
part of it. But we have me and Doug are going to be on the committee, and then we need one other. It's going to involve a lot of time interviewing people, sitting down with them, talking to them. We need one other person, and if you know a case manager that you think would do it, I have a list of case managers that was sent to me. I have not reached out to yet. I'm looking for somebody to take that job on, so I don't have to.
That's the
do-
next one on the list.
Oh,
But that's fine.
but yeah, so
So
if
recruit
any
the case
person that's
manager.
not a case manager wants to volunteer to be on the intake committee, feel free to step up, but realize it's going to be a not too time consuming, but time consuming, so just.
Well,
be
we
aware.
And
have
hands-on.
about 40 interviews.
Yeah, about
so
40
that's a
interviews.
lot of time.
Do you think Amy might know somebody?
I've got a list from Amy already.
Okay.
Amy does not want to be the case manager, and I get that. It's too much on her.
Mhm.
So, but I have a list of about 6 people, so
Okay.
I'm.
So the job really isn't case management. It's really
No, it won't be case managing. It'll be
Screening.
helping us screen.
But we're still
who
looking for
comes in.
one more normal person, as you say.
a normal person
Yes.
and a professional screener.
Yes.
Well, I'm not volunteering for this, but I just wanted to say, at Bellingham Tenants Union, I'm on a committee of people who are getting stories. So I'll let them know about this.
Okay,
That'd
great.
be great.
That'd be
Thank
excellent.
you.
So
That's actually
on
really
that
good.
committee, just leave the 2 spots blank for now.
Okay. And does anyone want to be the person who reaches out to that list of social workers and asks them if they would like to be in the new resident intake volunteer?
I guess I will because
Okay.
that way I already know what I'm looking for in the person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
They're going to
Yeah,
get along with you anyway.
It's you.
Yeah. They've got to be able to do it my way, not the way it's normally done. And that's a whole new way.
I've got this great guy. You'd love to work with him for about 20 hours in the next 3 weeks.
All right. Next one, public relations lead. You basically taking and posting photos, posting them on social media of the site setup and also of progress of the site, as it goes on for the next couple of months.
Basically, it's going to be our mouthpiece that keeps our propaganda site. I hate
Are you
using that word.
welcoming all people to kind of participate in that, or is it going to be?
Well, we need somebody to lead it. That needs to post
We need a
daily.
social media director.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
any
going to
volunteer
be in
could
charge
do it,
of the
when they
PR
run the site,
and
but someone to do it.
Because it usually runs
regularly.
pretty organically, and a lot of people will kind of come in and out and then post what they're.
But we also want somebody to write maybe a paragraph of how
Feeding
camp went
content.
today.
Yeah.
We want an update every day. Because I not only want to get people here in Bellingham following it, I want people in
Right.
New York following it.
Yeah.
Because Doug's my goal was, once Homes Now goes, we want to take this nationwide. We want other communities to follow our lead. Go ahead.
I'd like to help with that.
Okay.
I
And
do a lot
there are
of
quite a few
now
volunteers
all
on our
the
list
time.
that put down social media, so we might give some of those people
Okay,
some
so
calls.
Okay.
put Lynette's name there and
That's why we're taping it.
Yeah, and build a Facebook site and find a friend to help with that if you want, something like that for it, really.
Well,
Isn't that what
that's
we're talking
fine.
about, kind of like a Facebook
we
page or
should-
something?
I asked
Well,
David
show
to
up-
do
yeah, I
that.
think it
We
is.
should all have
We were
the
planning
JC, can I put you down for
to post.
like,
well, everybody will have an
being the
opportunity,
person
but
who-
we
for
want
these
one
empty
person that's
spots,
doing
identifying
Making
people
sure
on
that
the
there is a
list and
post.
contacting them.
a
Yeah,
po-
okay.
Yeah.
So I don't
And
have
sort
a
of
spot
do
for that, but I'll
all the
I won't do the
administration.
calls, but I will.
I don't know
definitely
anything
Yeah,
about
good
find
job.
people.
I don't know
I
anything
know how to
about it.
post, but
Order!
that's not how to run one.
I love
Order.
it. Everybody's talking.
Yeah.
1 second, I'm just making a note.
Yes, I can provide that data for someone to do cold calls for each thing. For each
Cool.
list, yeah.
All right, next one is project leaders, which is basically like, that's a position that's in our handbook. And you basically be a volunteer who can be on call for scheduled shifts. Also listen to feedback from Winter Haven residents, like if they have a problem or anything like that, and communicate those problems to the Homes Now board.
Come on, guys.
And if
then-
not everything's filled today, it's no pressure
No.
because we'll
Yeah.
find it.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
we'll find
And
it.
if it's
They're not
Plus-
participating in that program, but not running that program.
Plus, can I,
Right, okay, so I'm gonna,
You know?
Dana's,
Yeah, that's good.
plus, could I suggest that
Yes.
particular thing could be an emphasis for the, whoever's doing the church outreach? Because part of what you mentioned was getting people from the churches to volunteer for like 2-hour shifts or
Yes.
whatever. So that could be one of the specifics that we could,
Oh, like it's like,
And then you
would
would
you
wanna
be
get
willing to
like
do
a
meals,
weekly
or do you have
on
volunteers
daily.
that would like to
What?
blah
Yeah.
blah blah?
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
The
right.
more
Every
specific,
evening,
the key to getting people to
Mostly.
volunteer is
You get
is
this
not
for-
just
you
to
always
say
have
volunteer, it's to do
Right.
exactly what you're doing. is you go down a laundry
Can we get
list.
your youth group
Of what we
to?
Yeah,
need.
here's what we need, this specific task to be done. And it's the same thing with the churches and the businesses. If you go to them and say, we need people to do project lead, and here's what a project lead does, then they've got it in their mind and they're more inclined to volunteer for it.
Right, and,
Yeah.
Okay?
that's the whole thing. Once we get people, this week we'll have probably, it depends on how quick I can get Danielle and JC to work together, is, we'll have detailed descriptions of every volunteer position
Good.
and what we need.
Yeah, because the worst thing you can do is just saying we need volunteers.
Right,
Yeah.
Right.
that's
You
why
need
we
to give us
created this
specifics.
long.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so,
Okay. Okay. So we'll just kind of leave that blank for now. Marcus, you said you would help, but not be.
I don't wanna run that, but I wanna be part of it.
Right.
you know.
Yeah. All right. Next one is reception office volunteers. So these are we have 3 positions that the residents themselves will be doing at the site, but Charlie had the idea of having volunteers also, either fill in the gaps there or kind of work with them. So those 3 positions are reception office volunteers, security people, and donations. Like people who
Reception,
like.
I'll do that one, but yeah,
Okay.
and I'll coordinate with the security person, obviously, because they kind of go hand in hand, but
which one are you gonna
Okay.
the reception thing.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I can
So
probably,
that's like signing people in and out on the
Yeah.
site. Okay.
I can probably do some on my days off.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and these last 3 positions are not like the coordinator position. So anyone who wants to just take on a couple shifts will put your name down.
Right.
And there'll be 2-hour shifts, that's all we're asking people to do.
Yeah.
Well, it would make sense to
I'll put myself
have some
down
sort
for
of a
that.
schedule, so we don't have 3
Yeah,
in
we're
1
gonna
hour.
have a schedule.
Right.
Right, but
But
it'll be
do we
that
wanna
you're
do
only
like
asking
a
people to be
Google
there for
Doc
2
or
hours.
something?
You just fill the slots as they come up.
Yeah, it'll be on a Google Calendar, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
everyone will
comes
have
up
the
when one's
link
sitting
will be
empty.
public.
Okay.
And yeah, you could do as little as 2 hours a week, or maybe even
Yeah, just
less than
yeah,
that.
Well,
As long as
you got a
it's
slot.
regular.
right.
Yeah.
I picture us
8 hours
having
a day.
like 50 or not 50, but a lot of people doing short hours of shifts for something like this. Yeah.
And, we just need a coordinator to put that together.
Somebody's
So
got to
you
put
wanna
that
do
up on Google Doc.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so we got the
So-
coordinator.
Yeah.
See how I talked to you? So Doug, you wanna do that? Yeah. I like
He's sort
your
of a
idea.
big target right there, you know?
Yeah. That's true.
And going back to social media stuff, I'll help with that. I don't know if I can lead it because I'm gone for a bunch
Okay.
in December, but I'll definitely help. And I write for Northwest Citizen website, so I want to write about this.
I would like to see you write an article about this meeting and our progress
Okay,
soon,
okay.
like yesterday.
Well, no, because the story will change Tuesday,
Right.
so.
But you know what I mean.
I can do that.
And everyone's gonna be out there with getting pictures and everything, and if we can
Yeah.
get everyone's pictures, and then Doug can put together video. or
I mean,
Jim
if
can
someone
put together
doesn't
video.
come
Yeah,
up
video.
on the volunteer list, I can, starting after the holidays, I
Right.
can coordinate.
Okay,
But see if somebody who
Mhm.
posted it that they'd
They
like,
do social media to do
they
that.
do social
Yeah.
media, would like to step up to lead, and I'll
Okay.
help them.
Cool.
and I'm gonna be reached out to, WWU, cause I'm being interviewed, I think, 3 times next week by different students.
Oh.
So I'm gonna try to say, hey, here's a project for you in your class. And that one lady, I don't remember, we worked with her before, the black lady. the-
Tara Perry.
Yeah, we need to reach out to her and see if her class will step up and take this on
Oh yeah.
for the
that'd be cool.
class period. And that, we're gonna use the colleges a lot for volunteers. So, is that all we have on those?
Yeah, those were the last 3.
So, here's what I wanna say again, all this is stuff up, if you want your name taken off after I talk, feel free to. This isn't, positions aren't, well, I'll get it done next week. We need this to move really fast. I would love to go in on the 19th at City Hall and say we have all the positions, we got everything we need, we got all the material we need, we got all the money we need. The only thing that's stopping us now is your process. So let's get this process fast. They have fast tracked it. We've been told for 1 year and 7 months it takes time. Be patient, Jim. And we've only been doing this for 2 weeks and we're this far. So it doesn't take time if you wanna do it, it just takes time when you really don't want it. So I'm just telling you all, I'm going to be sending out emails once we get all the email stuff and Daniel gets that all compiled tonight. I would like a response by tomorrow on, if you're still interested. I will try to get as detailed as I can on the job descriptions, because this is an urgent need. We're doing this under an emergency ordinance, which means it's an emergency, and when I call 911 and say I'm having a heart attack, they'll go, oh, we're gonna have a meeting, we'll talk about
Study
it.
that.
So, I just want everybody to know everything's moving really fast. I've been talking, Doug and I have been talking for a year and a year and 7 months about this. And talk was real easy. Now, we got a lot of work to do.
I noticed on your list you've got the storage container and the lockers, and I'm wondering about Carmen. Has she offered to bring the truck for hers?
That really wouldn't work.
Okay,
We don't have the room for it.
okay.
The storage container is, if somebody would like to store it, they offered to donate a locker to us when we were building tiny homes out on Lumney, but we didn't need it because we're not building out on Lumney. So it will be parked on site for 3 months. So if somebody would like to store it and give them a little description of what's going on and that we're a nonprofit because they write it off on their taxes and that we just need a,
Well, and remind them, you're talking about a 20-foot box.
yeah, a 20, we just need one of the storage containers. And I know their thing when they donate them, because if you see them around town parked in different organizations'
Right.
yard,
Yeah,
the only requirement they have is their name has to be able to be seen from the street, so.
Right. We can do
I
that.
That's
can
their-
contact them when I'm contacting Appliance Depot, it's called Storage.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be
It
great.
makes sense that kind of stuff would
Yeah.
be together. And they said they'd donate before,
Yeah, I
So
talked to
remind
them, they, instead of them donating it to us, they donated to Stepping Stones, and it's where our tiny homes are now. Cause I gave them Stepping Stones name, so, and you can mention Nick Lewis to them, because that's who their contact person is on.
what was the name?
Nick Lewis,
Nick
he's
Lewis.
Lumley Tribal Council member.
So with the lockers, what's your intention with that? From the
Well,
start?
I've been looking on Craigslist for a school there, cause now, you know, just seeing that, we don't want the big tall ones, we want the short ones. I don't remember the ones at TC5.
Yeah,
And all they are is for people's, valuables, like if they have $1 million and they say need someplace to lock it up, or they have a watch or something. Because camp's
Or
gonna
their
be safe.
medication.
Anything they figure is
Security
valuable
card, all
that they don't want taken out, or their birth certificates or paperwork that's
The
in place for
cook
them.
keeps the good coffee in his.
We just don't have room for like the intermediate, which would fit his backpack nicely too. you know?
Yeah, well, we don't need a place to store backpacks, they got their home.
Okay.
What about storage of the supplies?
That will be
That's
in the
what
storage
they're here
locker,
for.
Okay,
the
so,
storage container.
so toilet paper and.
Everything will be in there,
plates
all
and
the
cooking stuff
donations,
and-
Yeah, all the
food
extra
and
stuff.
stuff like that, canned
Okay.
goods, all that will be in there, and we're gonna have a place, cordoned off where, like, if people come with their own tents, they're not gonna be able to set them up, so we'll have a place to store them if they wanna keep them, because we want the camps to all look new,
Nice.
and that way, I
It's
know
good
a lot of
press.
homeless people have tents that they think are perfect, and they have a tarp over top of them to keep the water out, and they have, yeah, and they look like the slums, that's not what we want. But it's what they have, so, but if they don't wanna throw that away, then we'll have a place in the storage container for them to keep that until they leave.
Really smart.
Yeah.
And I urge all of you to read through our proposal and our handbook. So when people start asking you questions, you know, because everything we're doing is in there. It's very detailed, anything you wanna know. We get asked questions, Danielle, me and Doug always get asked questions about, well, what about this? And we're like, oh, we knew you wouldn't read it.
do you think that the local fire department would donate the fire extinguishers?
I don't know.
Okay.
And there's also
There are companies out there that lease fire extinguishers to businesses.
there's a place right down by the BHS.
Those are the ones I would call if I was leading that.
We don't
but
have
I'm
a
not
position for
leading
that,
it.
so who
You don't have a
Well,
lead
it's
for it,
just part of
but it's just
getting
any
donations.
one of us
Oh,
can
okay.
call and find out,
Yeah.
so.
Alright, I have a question too.
Cool.
Okay, like when you're doing the intake and the outtake and stuff, right? When they're coming in and going out. Alright, are you gonna have a specific time where like times that they're not allowed to leave the camp?
Nope.
Okay, so you're gonna have to have somebody manning the office, like,
24/7.
24/7.
Yep.
okay.
Is
And
so
ideally,
there's
we'll
not
have
gonna
that
be-
shadowed for at least the first 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's
So
not
there-
24/7, but yeah,
there won't-
I'll be there for the
There
first.
won't
Yeah.
be a curfew?
Nope, there's a quiet time, and there will always be somebody in the office. That's part of the residents' job. They will have to. It's mandatory that they're involved in the community, so they will be manning. One of the residents will be security. One of the residents will be the intake person. And when we talk about intake, we have to explain this to you. All intake that of people going to live there will be done in our office, not on site. Nobody can walk up with their backpack and do an intake. They have to come off site to do intake. What we're talking about is everybody that goes in and out of Winter Haven has to sign in and sign out.
It's a log.
If
We
you're
should
a
call it-
volunteer, if you're a police officer, if you're a fireman, if you're a city official, if you're just a tourist that wants to come tour, you have to sign. I have to be able to prove who's in the camp at the time. Say somebody walks up and say who's in the camp, or something happens in camp, I can go back and look at the log. These people were in camp, these people weren't. So,
It's very important for record keeping.
Yeah.
Security.
Yeah.
Okay,
and it makes the people in camp feel safe and secure.
And there are no tourists unless they're accompanied by a
Right,
resident.
and we're going to have a day, probably once a week, where we invite the general public to come see, and hopefully we can work it with the residents where they'll cook a meal for the community, and the community will be invited in, not the homeless, but house people, because we want this to be a community. We want people to come meet homeless people in their area, in their space, in a safe environment, and get to know that it's not what the media wants you to believe. They're not all drunks, alcoholics, and mentally ill.
We gotta do it early in the morning. Now
Yeah.
that I'm out early in the morning doing the dog walk, I truly appreciate the cold weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. You should definitely have a squirt gun fight.
So are you actually gonna purchase a logbook for people to sign in? Or
We
for
already
us?
have all the forms created, thanks to JC.
Oh, okay,
Yay.
cool. All right,
Anyway, we got them started.
all right.
Yeah. We have pretty much everything created that we need right now.
Okay.
If not, it's in the process. This
wanna keep
step
it in
right
the-
here is the next step that was on the list that we had to do. We have to get people involved. The next step will be finalizing our draft proposal and submitting our application. And everything that's on this list, I need
Show
to
up on the
have
19th.
by the 19th, if at all possible. No later than November 30th, because I don't want to say December 3rd, they say, you can start building now. I don't want to go, oh wait, we gotta find this. All this stuff
That's
has
right,
to
man.
be. But me and Doug made an executive decision. We rented a storage unit yesterday to store stuff like tents and whatever. It is not used for the summer, it's just used strictly for Winter Haven. Anything we have left over, we'll go to the summits where will be kept for if something breaks or something and we need it. We also have a place for pallets to store them indoors, so that's one thing I'm gonna ask now. I need 2 strong guys that can help next
Marcus
weekend.
needs 2 strong guys.
Yeah, Marcus.
Marcus is the strong guy, yes.
Marcus is not the
Marcus
strong guy.
can't lift and I can't lift, but I will be involved
I
in
can
helping.
facilitate lifters.
But we need 2 strong people that can go out next Saturday and next Sunday and help. And if you help, we'll buy you lunch. And we need to go around and pick up pallets at a couple businesses. And then the next weekend we'll be going and picking up the rest of them and taking them to the site. And
So anybody's got any good
Maybe
long
that's-
ratchet straps that might be handy?
I think I
that's
got a
something you
couple
can find
ratchet
from your
straps,
list.
and
I've got
I
some
can,
shorter
as
ones.
Yeah.
long as I'm good to my back, I can do that.
yeah. So where is the agenda?
Next Friday?
Get
One
some
other
protectors?
thing, I'm gonna ask everybody in this meeting, since you were wanting to be involved, I have an assignment for you. When you leave here, go home, go to the Facebook fundraiser, share it on your pages, and I don't care what pages, if they're in bumfuck nowhere, please share them. The more people we can reach, the better it is. And also, if you're interested in buying a Homes Now shirt, on the agenda, there's a link to it. Or if you're going to be a lead person, Homes Now needs your shirt size when you get their information, and we're going to purchase the t-shirt. And just so you know, every t-shirt that gets bought from Teespring, we get $4. So it's another way to raise funds. So if you don't want us spending money to buy you a shirt, then you can buy your own shirt. And we thank you very much. So, anything else? Anybody has any questions?
How about on a happy note? We only need $1,084.
Oh, cool. We needed 1,200 when the meeting started.
We're down to $1,084.
That's awesome.
I just told Danielle on payday, I'll get the five surgers.
The five what?
Did it end up with?
Oh, okay.
No,
Has somebody already
you didn't get them all, right? No, she's got her own.
Nope.
Sorry.
Oh, okay, I just wanted to know.
I think there was, do you have one of those right
So,
What do you got?
I want to thank you all. You're all heroes to me.
What, did his list go all the way around?
And,
Yellow trash.
It's all over there.
It's coming back in.
It's coming back.
Possibly.
Marcus, it's coming
Start with them
back.
and see where it goes.
Yeah, I'll take a.
My list went with the sign up sheet, didn't it?
Yes, it did. That's why I say it's coming back.
That's the only way I can think of it.
Yeah.
I'll help
Okay,
you out in a
that'll
minute.
probably work, yeah.
What?
If she gets something not off of Amazon, she can leave a message on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, yeah. For those that don't want to support Amazon, feel free to buy it on your
Well, no,
own.
I'm thinking if I get a donation from one of these
Yeah.
things.
Right,
Oh,
no, that's
Now,
excellent.
without
and
it,
if
just
any
need
of,
to
any
let
of
you
you,
know.
all of you take this list, and you can all try to get this.
Right.
And when you do, please PM me right away.
So nobody
I
else is
can-
looking for it anymore.
So I can
Right.
check it off the list, and I will be posting this list online today when I get home. And I will be updating it daily or hourly if everything goes good, maybe minutes.
Minutes.
So,
Well, then cross out the surge protectors, because I will get those.
okay.
So the maximum number of people, you could potentially have 2 people per tent.
30 people is the max that we want.
Is
Okay.
that set by the city or?
Nope, that was set by
That's
us.
Max by the city is
Okay.
supposedly
So
to be
thinking
100,
about
and we're not
plates
ready
and-
to try and do
Oh,
anything like
right,
that.
Cups
yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah.
How many people?
So if we have like 2 guys that are homeless together, like me and my buddy Bill, we're always homeless together, and they don't have a mind sharing a tent, then they can come to,
Okay.
they don't
But
have
you
to
don't
be a couple.
necessarily want 2 in every tent. So you don't
We
want,
can't
No,
have
we
2
we
in
don't
that.
want to have.
you
yeah,
don't want to have 40 people.
Right, we do not want to
Oh,
have 40
yeah.
We
people.
can't have 40.
Can't have.
So
there's
30
the extra stack
basically
for
means
anybody
that
now.
at worst
It's
about
like
half
my
of the
border
tents would have
collie.
to
If there's
accommodate
2
each
dogs,
person.
his brain blows up.
Yes.
What about if you have a family come along?
We,
They don't fit
we'd
the
have to
profile.
do that. The tent is a 4-person tent.
Oh.
We'd have to evaluate that. They'll have to go through the process like everybody else, and
It's potential.
it's a
We're also
potential.
working with the Opportunity Council, and they have access to the, what's that program, Family Promise.
Yeah. So,
Family
And
Promise likes to
we
really
can't help
photogenic
everybody,
people.
we can only help 30, but if we can get a person to move out, we can put another person in, we're not, and we probably, I'll be honest with you right
I
now,
think
we
just
won't
give
start
the
with
police
a
their
full
name and then we do
load.
it.
Not every
Okay,
tent's
so
gonna
when
be
they-
inhabited, when we open.
Uh,
And that's fine. If we can ease into this, that'll make it even better.
Right.
Yep.
Some homeless won't come because they
Probably,
don't,
yeah, because if
they don't
check
want
out,
to
then
be,
it'd a waste of their time.
Exactly.
they don't trust it
Okay.
yet. Right.
Inside a fence, organized, all that stuff.
Right.
And they don't want to be asked questions.
Yeah. Well,
You don't have to stand
our-
outside the fence too long before you learn you want to be in there, though, I'm thinking.
So, that's where we're at, and thank you all for coming and taking
you.
some of your
Thank
time
you.
Saturday. And I will schedule another meeting, probably for all the leads next Saturday or something. I'll put out a message about it. If you're not on Facebook, please let Danielle know when you give her the rest of your information, so I can send you an email, because I am a Facebook guy. I do check my emails about 40 times a day, but it's easier for me to
Social media.
communicate to social media.
Does anyone not have Facebook?
I think that's how we all met each other.
Okay.
That's what
That's
drives
right.
nonprofits now.
You have to have Facebook,
So,
there's no other way to
This,
do
you're
it.
at the point now where this meeting's adjourned.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Love you, Jim. Thank you. Thank you all for your hard work. Really good job,
By
guys.
hand.
Yeah, it is a good point. How do you
By
do
hand. So
this?
there's like 70,000 votes that they're gonna count by hand.
Wow.
Turn that sucker off.
Yeah.
No.
So.
Oh, yeah, turn it off.
Oh, I know. They're